Hi everybody, this is Catherine from In the Pink Designs. My project today is a full-size Hershey Bar box that measures 6 by 2 1/4 by 1/2. Alrighty, and I used This Birthday Piggy stamp set, which is from the annual catalog, but I also used the new Playful Piggy dies. These are going to be available on September 1st, and they're only going to be available for a month. I don't know why they're doing that, but maybe they only have a certain amount that they could get, but they're great. They cut out all of the little pieces and the pigs. This is the other pig that I cut out. They cut out very nicely. Alrighty, so there's a nice wagon, some grass, which I love, flowers, a present, and a nice tag too. So these will be available on September 1st. I also wanted to tell you that for everybody that spends $50 or more till the end of celebration, I am giving you a 48 pack of the Celebrate Everything Host Designer Series paper. Usually they're in 12 by 12, but I cut them down, and I will give each person 48 sheets, which is, I believe, 4 of each pattern. Okay, and I will mail them to you if you spend $50 on my website. Okay, so you wouldn't have to do, you would get the big ones if you spend $150 or more and you use that for your Stampin' rewards, but sometimes it's hard for people to spend that much, so I figured I would do a special with $50. Okay, so again, I'm using this Birthday Piggy stamp set, the Playful Piggy dies. I also used, in the background here, is the Celebrate Everything Host Designer Series paper. Let's see what else we need here. We need some basic white for stamping. We need a piece of polished pink that is 6 1/2 by 6. Now this is so easy to switch out the colors. In the background we have Pool Party, I think that's Crushed Curry actually, polished pink, shaded spruce, granny apple green, and Pacific Point is in here. So you could, if you don't want the pink batter, you could switch this up, no problem. Alright, so I told you that. We need a strip for the grass of granny apple green that is 5/8 by 5 3/4. And we need 2 pieces of the Celebrate Everything Host paper that are 2 by 5 3/4. Alrighty. Okay, so put in the host code if you're going to spend under $150, and I'll send you a little something. I put all them together so that I can get everybody a little gift. Alright, let me get my Simply Scored. We're going to start on the 6 1/2 inch side, and we're going to score only at 1/2 inch. Okay, then we're going to turn it to the 6 inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2, 2 3/4, 3 1/4, and 5 1/2. Okay, now I'm just going to fold and burnish all the score lines. Okie dokie. And this is what we're going to do. Okay, your skinniest rectangle is on the left-hand side, and the top and the bottom. This side has no rectangle on the side. Alright. Okay, it's a relatively easy box, but I think it makes such a nice little gift. Let me see. Will a gift card fit in? Yes, a gift card will slip right in there. Okay, we're going to turn it so that the skinny rectangles are on the left and the right and the bottom. Okay, and then this is what we're going to do. Relatively simple. Okay, so we're going to start over on the left. We're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge a little bit off of each side of that tiny square. Go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, next score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge both sides of that square in the middle. Okay, go to the next score line, and then we're going to cut it to the first score line and then wedge up into that skinny rectangle that's on the right, and then just follow it up and wedge a little bit off the top. Okay, and then because it closes very small, what we're going to do is take a small circle punch and just take a partial circle. And that's just so that they can grab it easier. Okay? And you could put your DSP on now before you put the box together so that you don't have to recut this. But I like to show you what the actual cardstock looks like. Alright, so what we're going to do to put this together is put tear and tape on the wedged 1/2 inch rectangle right up against the score line. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool to get the backing off and flip it over. And this one might be a little tight because it's very small, so you might not be able to get it all the way over, but this time I can. So it depends on how exact you cut it. Okay, so this is our back. So we're going to put the sides in and the back, and this is where we're going to put tear and tape. You could also use liquid glue if you don't like tear and tape. And then just bend it over so that comes in. And that's the box. Pretty easy, right? And then our Hershey bar will fit in there really nicely. It doesn't come out, but it's not squeezing it so tight that it won't come out when you want it to. You could also, if you really want it closed on one end, you could also pop up the designer series paper with dimensionals and run your ribbon sideways underneath it, and then the ribbon would be across this. I like it this way because it's really pretty secure. Alrighty. Okay, now we need our DSP. And this is the Celebrate Everything host paper. That is 2 by 5 3/4, and I'm going to, I'll take this out for now. I'm going to put it on with liquid glue. Now it's going to cover the hole a little bit, but we'll fix that in a second. Okay, I couldn't fit, because I have the old circle punches, I couldn't fit it in there, so it's probably best to do it before you put it on, to put your DSP on and then put the box together so that you could do it. But I just went in with a scissor and clipped off the extra. Alright, now the back. Okay. Alright, now the other little things we need from the dies. I don't know if I showed you this. I don't think I did. Okay, we need one of the little wagons out of Crumb cake. 2 of the banner pieces. I did them out of polished pink. I did a little bandana for the pig out of Daffodil Delight. And we needed, oh, thought I lost a wheel. I guess I had it. We need 2 wheels and the handle from Smokey Slate. Alright, so those are the other things we need. But first we're going to put it in here. First we're going to do some stamping. Alright, and we're going to use this image from This Birthday Piggy and some Tuxedo Black Ink. And maybe I'll do them upside down to save some paper. And there you go. That's the piggy image. Okay. Now I just need to cut it out with the die that corresponds. Just like that. And I'll be right back. Okay. So now we're going to do a little bit of coloring. Alright, first let's use light and dark petal pink. And the dark one I'm going to put inside the ears. Well, just the one side shows the inside. I'm just going to put a little strip of it down the back, above the leg, under the arm, and under the mouth, and the bottom of the snout. All right, and the back leg and the tail. I'll show you one second. Okay, and then I'm just going to color in the rest with the light petal pink. Okay, then I'm going to take light Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to just put a little circle right where the little cheek line is, right above it. It looks so cute there. Let me show you. Don't have to blend it or anything. It really looks adorable because it fits right into the little cheek. And for the hooves, I'm going to use dark crumb cake. Okay, I'm not going to be coloring this because we're not going to see the dirt underneath. So I'm going to make the plate with light polished pink and the candle. Okay, and then with, you know what I'm gonna do is, because I don't want the balloon here, I'm just gonna go in and just trim off the lines for the balloon and the balloon itself. Okay, so it separated the balloon, and then I'm just going to go down and take off this line under here. You don't have to do this, especially if it's not as skinny a project of this as this, but I didn't want it all the way up here. Just a few snips. Okay. And I'm just going to trim up the side of the balloon so it looks regular, although we're going to put it in the back. So, all right. Then I'm going to color the balloon and the cake with light Pool Party. And the last thing is the flame with Daffodil, Dark Daffodil Delight. Okay, and that's the coloring. Alrighty. Now we need our silicone mat. And I'm going to put on his bandana first, and the tie goes in the back, and the front of it just kind of touches under his mouth a little bit on his chin. All right, so I need my Take Your Pick tool and some glue, and I'm just going to flip this over to the right side and pick it up. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue on. Just kind of dot it around so it's enough to make it stick on nicely. Oh, goodness. Okay, move him away from that glue. And it will cover up a little bit of his arm, but that's okay. Okay. All right. Okay, next I'm just going to trim off the bottom because we didn't color it or anything, so I'm just going to trim it off so it doesn't show through much. Doesn't have to be fancy because you really don't see it. And then I have the wagon. I put him kind of in the middle of the wagon, and just the top of the second rung and most of the first rung, because when I'm going to put some glue on this, because the last time I got glue everywhere because I tried putting it on the pig, and then so much glue came through, which, I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I'm just gonna pat off whatever does squeeze out. this comes up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right, and I'm just using a baby wipe to get rid of whatever glue is on there so that it's not contaminating anything else, and then I'll just flip it over so it's dry. Okay, now let's do the wheels and the handle. And this time I am going to just put a little glue on my mat. And I'm just going to take a wheel. I'm just going to get a little bit of glue and then make sure some's on there. And stick it on over each wheel on the crumb cake. Alrighty, and now the handle. Alright, the balloon we don't put on until we put it on. So, for the banner, I clipped off the end of one side and most of the end on this side here, and then this side too. So on one of them, for the one that goes on the right, I cut off both sides. The one that's on the left, I left a little on this on the left and everything on the right, but you can just put it down and see how you like it. And then I'm just going to cover it and have it touch on either side of the wagon. There we go. All right. Now he's all ready to go onto the box. Okay, so now we want to do the grass. And we need the little grass die. And again, this is 3/4 by 5 3/4. You're going to have to do it twice. And I just put it in the middle just so that I had enough. And I taped it here. I ran it through once. And then I just put it next to where the cutting end ended on the left. And then I ran it through again. And this is what I got. Okay, I did go a little bit lower as I went down, but that's all right. You won't really notice it too much. Okay, so this is just going to go along the bottom of the DSP. Okay, just like that. So let's just get some liquid glue. Right here. I'm just going to put a little on. I won't put it on the blades, just the grass, the solid underneath. Okay, and on this one I cut it a little bit too short. So I should have moved it because the tag covers it, but that's all right. Okay, now for the piggy. Now you could pop them up, but there's a lot. You know what? I'm going to try to pop them up on this one. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, I'm going to pop them up. Okay, so let's get our mini dimensionals and see what we can fit. I think we could fit mini dimensionals on the wheels. And I'm just going to have to cut a sliver for the candle. Put that up there because those are really some loose spots. So it's really not a big deal if you just want to glue this straight down. And I'm also going to cut a little bit of something for the handle because I want it to be secure at the ball, but a mini dimensional is too big. Maybe I'll put a mini up, oops, in his ears. Okay, and then we can just use some regular ones. Right there, and right there, and maybe one in the middle. Okay, now I just got to take the covers off. The mini ones, using your take your pick tool works pretty good, but for the big ones it's not as easy. Let me try. Yeah, it's coming off now. This one's not. No. But the mini ones, it helps out a lot. Oh, my fingers are getting stuck everywhere. Okay. And I put him, let me just measure it, about 1.25 inches from the back of the DSP. All right, so I put the wheels towards the bottom of the grass, and then I just let everything fall how it, oh, I didn't take the backing off of this. There we go. There we go. Okay. And now for our balloon, I think I'm just going to glue the balloon. I'm just going to have it sticking out the back, just like that. We just have to avoid the dimensionals we just put now. There we go. Yeah, I like them popped up. Looks nice. Okay, I don't know if I said it in the beginning, but for the sentiment you need a little piece of Daffodil Delight. And we're going to use the Tuxedo Black again. And this sentiment is, this little piggy says happy birthday. Just going to put it right in the middle. And then with this die set comes this cute little tag. And I'm just going to put this right over it like that. I'm going to put a little piece of tape, and I'll be right back. Okay. Now on this one, I didn't tie it onto the, I just glued it down, but I think on this one I'm going to try it. So I'm just going to put a little hole right in the middle at the beginning. And I'm going to get some Pool Party sheer ribbon, which I think has been, I've been a demonstrator for 2 years, and I think that this ribbon has been in the catalog since then. I think I've always had this. All right. All right. So then I'm going to just feed it on to the right side. And again, I did it quicker the first time. I just glued it under the bow. I'm just going to tie a bow. And then I'm just going to trim off the ends. And I think I'm still going to put a little dimensional underneath just to keep it where I want it. And they don't have to untie this bow, so it's perfect. Okay, and then for the final touch, I took some classic matte dots, and I'm going to use the gray and my take your pick tool. And I'm going to put a large one right in the top of the handle here, and 2 of the small ones in the middle of the tires. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I appreciate the time that you spend. And if you have any questions, my email is below. The link to my blog, where you can find all the measurements, is below. And also the link to join. If you want to join during celebration, you get an extra $50 value, which is a planner that has the regular planner pages in it, 2 notebooks, and a stamp set. Okay, so that's a nice bonus to join. And of course, you get the $125 worth of product for $99 plus free shipping. And I would love to have you on my team. I just got a new team member last night, and I'd like to welcome you. Okay, please subscribe and hit the like button. And remember, for everyone that spends $50 on my website, I will send you a 48 pack of 6x6 host paper that is to celebrate everything. Alrighty, have a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye.